Hey traders, we're going to have a market update in this video, so let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, so let's get straight into this video now. And the market update that I want to talk about is obviously on all the US indices. But what I'm seeing here, guys, is I said in last week's video that we may get a little bit more upside, but I'm expecting to falter out, and that's exactly what's actually happened so far. Now, I did a video on this day here, and I said we should get a bit more upside, and we actually got two more upside from here, two more updates from there, and now we're starting to falter out. Now we're starting to peter out. Now, looking on where we are right now, this long-term trend line here is actually this weekly trend line through here. That's what that weekly trend line is through there. Now, the interesting thing is where we're at is amongst everything we're seeing. Obviously, the stochastics where we are right now are getting ready for turning point. But not only that, but on the S&P 500, volume is key. Volume really tells a story. And do you notice that we had this update here? And let me see if I can bring up my trendline drawing tools here. Do you notice that we actually had this update here? We had this other update here. And this is the volume for that day there. We had this day here was like up, came down, and closed there. And this one here was actually just slightly higher. If I just take it off my screen, you can actually see, and if I blow this right up, you actually can see it was slightly higher to then the day before. Now, that might not seem like much, and it's not a lot in the scheme of things, but as is an increase in volume, that just tells me that the type of day we actually had, that there's a lot of sellers in that particular day. So I'm actually expecting downward movement from where we are right now. I did think we're likely to get a bit more upside, and we have done that. And now looking at you're looking at all the US indices, the S&P 500. Looking at the Dow Jones, is my chart software going to work with me now? Come on. Alright, let's go. Okay, my chart software is playing up on me. Alright, now I've just loaded my software back up again. Let's actually get straight back into it. So, there's the S&P 500, the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is actually, this is at the top of what we call obviously a bear flag, but we can see had this support through here, resistance through here, and now we've got this resistance through here, and this other line through here, that's actually a weekly support line. So, we're actually at this level through here, a bit more of an increase in volume, not a big volume, like we've had, like this volume here, we had a big volume, but it's still a small volume through there. I am expecting more volume to come in this week here, and especially if you look at this chart here with the stochastics, again, we're getting ready for a turning point in the market. That's where we are right now. Look on the Russell. The Russell's actually hitting its resistance point, and once again, getting ready for a turning point, I would believe. And so looking at the same for the Nasdaq as well too. Nasdaq, we actually had again slightly up day compared to yesterday, but it did close lower. But again, a bit more volume on that, and you really notice it on the SPY. This is the one that I like to trade, and the SPY, we can see a lot more spiking through there. That's the trend line through there on the SPY, and I just see a lot more downside from here right now. Now, this is the chart that has always been my go-to chart ever since I've been looking at whether this market's likely to come down. And this is the chart here. Look at this chart here. This is the advance to decline line chart. I've brought this chart up a couple of times, and I want to share this chart with you because look at this advance to decline line chart. Now, if you have a look at this, this is obviously, again, this is the advance to decline line chart where it's the average of all the indices out there, average of all the stocks out there. And obviously it's showing what the average overall market is doing. Now, I don't know about you, but the last time we actually created a nice head and shoulder formation, left head and shoulder formation, and actually broke the neckline, which was, where was the neckline? Next one was probably somewhere out there. And actually, that's the support there. Maybe that was neckline, maybe that was neckline there. But anyway, it broke the neckline, came back up and tested it and broke down, and broke below the moving average, was the 2008. And then we started seeing some acceleration on the downside. So, and then suddenly you can see here that it changed back to obviously breaking above it, creating now, we've got the very first high trough through here. Weekly chart this is, by the way. Back above this moving average, which is a 50 moving average. And now you can see it stayed back above it ever since. Now, I know there was a couple of times in the markets as this market was going up, especially in 2011, where the market really started to pull back here. And a lot of people thought, including myself, because I was listening to people, I'm not going to name the names, but yeah, I thought that this is where the market's going to start petering out and head back down. But you can see it actually didn't break the moving average. It held strong and held strong and held strong and held strong and went all the way back up. Now look at what we actually see through here. This is now what we call a rounding top. You can see how, look at that through there. This is a rounding top, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Now the market has broke down. It's now coming back up right now where we are right now as we speak. We are testing that level on the overall stocks on the advanced decline line. Now again, I'm not sure if this measures all the United States stocks on average and gives you the next line, or just does like S&P 500. I've got to look up that. But in any event, I can read a chart, and that chart tells me we are getting ready for this. So be prepared, get ready for that, because it's likely to happen. Now, it might not happen that quickly, but it's likely to happen. So I hope you can see this T2 100 chart has been a go-to chart for me. And when you're looking at the overall bigger picture of what the overall American economy is doing, this chart says it all. And you can see from when it started to really break below towards the end of last year, and now we've broken below that, you can clearly see what's actually happening on there. So if we bring up, say, a monthly chart, let's see what the monthly chart looks like. Monthly chart, same as well too. Okay, so the monthly chart, we can actually go back a lot further. So again, you can see that this is, look at this here from 98. We actually had that little run, and then to 2003. 2003, we had that big boom through there overall. Obviously into 2007. So that was actually really interesting if you look at this chart here. 2007 broke down. Yeah. So, but even on this chart here where we're speaking right now, we actually have, you can see, we actually have a small, on the monthly chart that is, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, breaking down. This is very weak, guys, and there's nothing northerly or bullish about this chart. So anyway, guys, that's my little weekly update for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you can see what I'm seeing, especially on this weekly chart. It's screaming or more downside, guys, and this shows exactly what's actually happening in the economy. This little up move we're getting right now, guys, I think we're getting ready to be pummeled. Hey, it's John Howell here, and thanks so much for watching my video. You see, I'm putting out daily videos and education on helping you learning the art of successful trading. So click on the subscribe button to keep up to date with every video I do. Also, check out my story video, $250,000 in debt, cancer, overweight, family passing away, lived on the streets, and more, and how I overcome it and now thriving through my life. This is here to motivate you, so click on that image to watch my video. And lastly, if you're struggling with your trading, then you need to see my latest webinar where I'm sharing with you an amazing strategy that allows you to generate an income without getting the direction right. So click on that image on this page to register for my next free webinar. This is John Howell here. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.